Satang prasanga. Talks between devotees.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. So I pray that all is well with you and your families and everything is going okay. So we're continuing with our sutras for empowerment so that we can have some strength and wisdom during this time of difficulty. So please join me as we start with today's sutra. Please read along with me. So today's sutra says, external circumstances are dictated by karma and ultimately Krishna's desire or sanction. Our freedom lies within the realm of our response and attitude. These are our choices. So we can see when we think of karma, the modern day understanding of karma is that karma is an accumulation of memory. It's from memory. We have our own levels of memory within the human capacity, but there's also cosmic memory. And cosmic memory, one aspect of that is karma. So when we are receiving karma, we are thinking, why is it happening to me? I've not done bad to anyone. I've given my donation at the temple. I've dedicated my life to God. I've been a good person. I haven't hurt anyone. Why is this happening to me? So by reasoning it, we try to come to some understanding that there must be a higher purpose for why this is happening. That's the implication. And we don't have the understanding of that right now. Therefore, it seems beyond us. But this kind of attitude, according to the Vedic understanding, is described as a tantrum child. We all know those little kids, like in the area that I'm staying in here in Mayapur. We got a few kids here that run around, and I have to do this recording early in the morning so that I don't get them as a backtrack to my recordings, because they're so loud and rowdy and noisy. But when I think about it, I was probably worse than that in my days. So when you observe children, you see that they learn the tactic of tantrum. That first they learn that if they throw a tantrum, then they can get what they want, especially from mom and dad. But as you grow up as a young adult, you learn very quickly that that attitude doesn't last. And that can't be applied in the world arena. At home, yes, maybe, but not in the world arena. And then as you become an adult, you realize that you have to act responsibly and that the tantrum tactic doesn't work anymore. So from childhood, we've been taught that, or we've been allowed to understand that by throwing a tantrum, that we can get away with it. But that's the wrong idea. And it's the same concept we're bringing into karma. That why is it happening to me? I can't see how I've done wrong. But if we look at the broader picture now, karma is described like a siphon. You drop the grain from the top, and it's only a matter of time before it comes out at the bottom. When it comes out at the bottom, you don't really know, but you know it's going to come out at the bottom. So in Vedic understanding of karma, there's 4 levels: Bij, Kut, Aparabda, and Parabda. The seed, sapling, manifested and non-manifested and manifested karma. So this is how karma manifests to us. And we see in Dhritarashtra, in his life, for him to be born at the time of the Mahabharata, he couldn't understand why he couldn't take the throne, why he was blinded. But when we look at his astrology, we see, oh, there is a reason. And what was that reason? That 50 generations back, 50 lifetimes back, he had done some sinful activity. He had killed some birds. And due to that, he needed 50 lifetimes to accumulate enough karma so that he could have 100 sons at one time. So we don't know how the laws of karma are working. They're mysterious. And therefore, in our activities, when we are looking at karma, we are only entitled to the work of karma. We are not entitled to the fruit of karma. In Bhagavad Gita, it's described, karmadi adhikaraste ma phalasu kadachana ma karma phala heturbur mate karma swakarmani mate sangha swakarmani. So you're entitled to the work but not the results. But one may say, but I did the work. Why can't I get the results? Because you are not the only doer. There are many other factors of doership that are facilitating you get your karma phal, the fruits of your work. So you're entitled to a portion of it, but not the entire thing. So the system is set up so amazingly that if you take that principle and extend it a little further, then what can I do? What should I do to not to get a bad karma, so to speak? We know, like in South Africa, we say your karma is caught up with you. So we know the idea of karma as a bad reaction coming, but it's not necessarily that. It's reaction, even good on its own. Even good reaction is karma. So if we understand the principle that I'm entitled to work, then how should I work? Then Krishna describes in 3:13 Bhagavad Gita, Yagya shishta shina shanto muchayanti sarvikil bishai bhujante ye agam papam ye pasanti atmakaranat. So one, if he consumes food without offering it first, then he will get bhujanti ye agam papam, you'll get sinful reaction. So what does he have to do with the food? Yajna shishta shina santo. Those who are shanta or saintly, they do yagya to the food first. They offer it. I remember in Lilamrita there's this interesting story. It was a Christmas marathon time. This word shanta, it sounds like Santa or saintly or Santa. It means saintly, but it sounds like Santa. Christmas marathon time, Santa Claus. So this one devotee had quite a traumatic experience. While distributing books, this person came up to him with a gun and he said, show me where in your books it's describing Santa Claus. And somehow Krishna gave him the intelligence to open to this verse, and he says, you see here, Yagya Shishta Shino Shanta. So in that way, he saved his life. In that way, he saved his life. Shanta. So extending the understanding of karmic reaction and why it comes to us then. So the principle is to offer yagya. This is what devotees do. They offer their food as yagya. And by doing that, that's a pious activity. Remember, they don't necessarily know Krishna yet. They're just offering their food to Vishnu. So by doing that as a pious activity, then they are gradually come to the point Yesam Twanta Gatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmanam Te Dwanda Moha Nirmukta Bhajate Mam Dhrita Vrata. 7.28 Krishna describes that those who are freed from all sinful reaction, they then come to my devotional service. But how do they do that? By acting piously in previous lives. So what do? They offer their fruits of their results as yajna. So gradually that then progresses to the point of manmana. Krishna is saying, 9th chapter Gita, manmana bhavamad bhakto, become my devotee. How? Madhya jimam namaskaro, you offer namaskar to me. Mam evasyasi satyam te pratijana priyosime. So you become priyasime, you become dear to me if you do this. And then the culmination, 927, yat karosi, whatever you do. Now it's whatever, it's not only offering food. Whatever you do, yat karosi, yat asnasi, yat johosi dadasi yat, tat tapasyata kontiya, yat kurusva matarpanam. He says, you do that as arpanam, as worship. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, anna, whatever you give away, and whatever austerities, tapasya, do it all as an offering to me. I remember, we can speak about it, I guess. When I was in Vrindavan, we had this one pujari who just joined in new, but he actually wanted wealth. He actually joined so that he could get wealth and money and maybe go to America, get a green card, all these things. So he realized that by worshipping Krishna, he wasn't getting anything. Krishna is detachment. He takes away everything and gives you himself. So he started, as an assistant pujari, he would, as soon as the deities are bathed, then immediately that water that we bathe the deities with is non-different like Charanamrita. We put tulsi and everything in that. And then we consecrate it. And then we bathe the deities with that. So as soon as the pujari who's bathing and dressing is done, he would then take this away and add it to the Charanamrita. So what he would do, he would take it to the back of the altar, and in his bead bag he had a little Shiva Lingam. And he would dip the Shiva Lingam in this Charanamrita, and he would pray to Lord Shiva, please give me Dhanam Janam Sundarim, please give me money and a beautiful wife and a house by the sea. And he would pray for all these things. And he would worship just like Lord Shiva is worshipped as Ashishwar Mahadev, Gopishwar Mahadev. So he would do this. And until one day somebody saw him say, hey, what are you doing? And he's, no, nothing. He's, no, what is this? And then he told the devotees what he was doing. So it became a little serious. But it's not that worshipping Lord Shiva is any less. There's something wrong with doing that. No. But the idea was that he wanted something that Krishna was not giving him. Therefore, he knew Lord Shiva is Ashitosh. So he easily pleased. So then he worshipped Lord Shiva in that way. So you can imagine what happened with him after a while. So like this, we get carried away. So Krishna is giving a progression of karma to understand how the mechanism of karma works. So let's read here. External circumstances are dictated by your karma and ultimately Krishna's desire or sanction. So we discussed about karma, but there's also an aspect of Krishna's desire. Because remember, Krishna is declaring, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. If you sarva dharman parikyaja mamekam saranam braja. If you surrender to me, Aham tvam sarva pap, 1866, I'll take away all your sinful reactions. So if you're not getting your karmic reaction as sinful reactions, then what are you getting? It's Krishna's selection that has helped us, it's meant to help us to come closer to Him. Tatenu kampam shushamik shamanu bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam ridvagvabu viridadham namaste jivetyu mukti pada sadayavak. That by enduring the hardships of life and dedicating, still holding on to Krishna's lotus feet, then the kingdom of God becomes your inheritance. Lord Brahma's praise, beautiful praise. So he goes on to say, our freedom lies. So what is the panacea then? If Krishna is also giving karmic reaction that way, what is the hope then? What can we do? So he suggests here, our freedom lies within the realm of our response and attitude. The way are we responding? Because if we just react, that's an animal nature. Response means some thought has gone into it. And response means some wisdom, some knowledge has gone into it. So just reacting the way we usually do means we don't have any knowledge of how the system is working. So Krishna is saying respond. How do you respond? By understanding how it's working. And that helps us with 50% of the journey. And then he ends beautifully here by saying, and attitude, our attitude. In sports psychology today, they say attitude is altitude. If you want to grow, you need to change your attitude. And in Nectar of Instruction, we see it's also described that Krishna consciousness is based on the mental attitude of the practitioner. What is your mental attitude? If that foundation is properly set, then whatever comes your way, you're understanding. Otherwise, we're constantly going to be blaming and trying to find an exit point. Krishna describes this even in Gita 3:27. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasyaha ahamkar vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. That this whole thing is working under the three modes of material nature, Prakriti. But one who is under the effects of illusion is thinking ahamkar vimudatma, that I am doing the work. Aham kartaham iti manyate. I am doing all this work. So we don't want to be caught in that cycle. We want to serve Krishna. And the last part he says here, these are our choices. What is our choices in life? You know, we always want to be safe in life, in a safe zone. And by being safe, we kind of build a wall around us so that we're comfortable now and we're safe. But we don't realize that a wall has two sides. So we're also imprisoning ourselves by just being safe in our cocoon. Just like in Vrindavan, you know, the monkeys trouble the people so much, in the devotees in Vrindavan. So some people's houses are completely built with big walls and caged over. So now, who is imprisoned and who is free? The monkeys are free and we are imprisoned in our own homes. So be careful about the choices that we make, because the choice to grow is not a very comfortable choice, and we got to get used to that road as well. Bhaktisiddhanta Srila Prabhupada used to also say that a Vaishnav's path is laden with thorns. So we also got to get used to that road of a few thorns. If we just sit in safety zone without moving and growing, then we're not going to progress very much. We need to take spiritual risks under the guidance of Krishna and books like the Bhagavad Gita. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed our session today. Please join us again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.